even people, I think some research has noted that even people going to large buildings or to senior centers still feel kind of lonely. And a bit isolated when they're going to programs. So I think a lot of people, perhaps with mental health or older persons, they feel more comfortable, I think, in going into smaller groups. And, we've seen this through Mosaic Home Care, where obviously we can't have larger groups in our center. And what we found is that people have connected, through our programs, which have been going on for 10 years, and now have started connecting with those people that they have become friendly with. And now they're doing things outside of Mosaic, connecting for teas or walking to the park or special occasions. So it's quite interesting to see how a community is formed within a community as well. I think as well, I just wanted to ask you about ageist attitudes, that have become institutionalized in community structure and planning. And, we do need to change this. Any thoughts regarding this?
Yeah, so this is an important part, especially as we, come on to loneliness. So the WHO just released a report together with the UN on ageism and the effects that it's having throughout the world. And I think that's a really critical report and has sparked a lot of discussion. And I think that ageism is something that we need to think about both for older people and for younger people, because, how do we age with dignity? How do we create intergenerational fairness? How do we make sure that everyone in society is supported? And that's critical. We can't. It becomes problematic when one generation is pitted against another. That's not really helping anyone. But when we then start thinking about things like loneliness and what are the barriers to, going to this activity or that activity, I think, feeling like you're too old or too young or that you won't fit in is something that, it's just an additional barrier that if somebody was a little bit reluctant to begin with, then you take and, think, oh, well, this is something that people who are in their 20s do or people in their 40s do. I'm in my 60s now, so it's not appropriate for me. I think it just adds an additional small barrier that, somebody who may have been able to go out and find something that they really enjoyed, maybe just takes a step back and doesn't quite do that in a way that they would have otherwise. And so I think that we have these sort of little micro things that shift people's behavior. And then obviously there's structural things that are happening globally and differently in different countries, but where ageism is inherent to the systems. And that's something that we need to really be looking at a level of governments and
yes.
and laws and things like that.
Yes, I agree.